Meow. There we go.
There we are.
We're on the internet. We're back on YouTube right now.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube, buddy. Good news. Mistake. I've left my watch on and it's going to beep every hour. That's not good. So in 15 minutes, it will go beep. So
okay.
I'm going to throw it out the door.
Just toss it. He's tossed that. And why not, eh?
And it's gone. Just like that.
He's just tossed it. I don't give a shit. It's gone.
I don't care. It's not even my watch.
Nah. There you go.
Yeah. Oh. I'm listening to Skyrim soundtrack this evening.
Simply Red for me, buddy.
Nice. Like it.
Yes, I would.
Yes, I would. Bunny too tight to mention. Indeed. Oh, probably do a podcast, I guess.
Okie doke. Let's do that. Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 206. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. Hey, buddy. How you doing this week?
Hey, buddy. As always, feeling good on a Wednesday. Yeah. Sparkling thoughts give me the hope to go on, buddy. Yeah. It's Wednesday. It's podcast time. Time to talk about, obviously, nonsense for the next 20 minutes. I hope you enjoy this.
Video games.
And then video games. If we fancy it. Or if we've played any this week. If we've played any. You just don't know. We do, though. We have notes.
We know.
Which we refer to. Oh, sorry. This is getting dramatical immediately in my ears and needs to be turned down.
Okay.
Oh, exactly. I was there. Fucking Skyrim. Lovely.
There he was.
Anyway.
Yep.
From Skyrim to the oldest football league team in the country. That's where I've been this weekend, buddy. I've been to Notts County. I've seen the Magpies at Meadow Lane. I think that's where it is. That's a place that I've been to this week. And that
Meadow Lane, it's a stadium. It's a football stadium in Nottingham, the home ground of Notts County, buddy, as you well know.
As I've been there this weekend. I went on Saturday when they were playing the Mikesy Exeter, or however you say Exeter in Exeter. Something like that I'd go for. So it sound about right? Exeter.
Yeah, they're sort of down in the West Country, aren't they? So it's a bit of Exeter.
Yeah, there you go. He loves it.
Like that. That was probably all right.
That's nice. So I watched them. Exeter went down to 10 men after about 15 minutes for like elbowing a guy in the face a couple of times. I was like, well, yeah, that's fair dues. Understandable. And Notts County, I think in the end had about 59 or 60% possession. Not many chances. The ball was down. They were attacking the majority of the time, I would say. And they conceded in the 93rd minute to stay bottom of League Two. Unfortunate for them. Highly entertaining for me, though. Yay. That was good.
That's a party. They are the only team in the Football League below Macclesfield Town in this season.
True, my friend.
Yeah.
So, well played to them.
Absolutely.
Must say a big thank you to the Exeter fans with their chants. They were fantastic. They've got one song that they sung pretty much the entire 90 minutes, and it was great. I loved every second of it. They had the old drums going, whatever. I don't know how it goes, but yeah, it was a great song. Really enjoyed it. Maybe I'll put it in. Who knows?
That'd be fantastic. Of course, they only have one song because people in Exeter, they only really know 5 or 6 words. Buddy.
That's true.
So, it's the best they can. You can't really do a lot with that. So,
it was a good anthem.
Stamina, though.
Yeah.
Stamina.
Yeah. I've had a.
I don't know what I've got against Exeter.
Nothing, mate. There's nothing against
for it.
I've been there a few times. My mum went to university there. So did my brother. Yeah.
It seems to me like quite the shithole from my trips there. But,
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was lovely.
Fair
to
play.
like the cathedral and stuff, and had a nice meal. Like you do.
Yeah.
Got pissed.
Yep.
Smoked some drugs with my brother because that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing at university, and I was like, I'll do that too.
You're gonna say that's what he was doing in Exeter.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
that's what he does there. So yeah, that was good fun. Anyway, I had a bit of a stressful day today, buddy. I had the Beeb in. The BBC came.
Oh, they love you. They just won't leave
mate,
you alone.
I just want them to fuck off and die.
Just papping you and
just like, hey, we're gonna come in and do some interviews. I'm like, yeah, cool. I didn't realise that they were gonna do an interview with me. I was like, great. So I've been interviewed today for about 15 minutes, which will be cut down to 10 seconds, I bet, which is
probably.
Fine. So yeah, had the Beeb in. It was a stressful day. Had to get them.
Is that going to be on the radio, buddy?
It's going to be on. I think it's East Midlands News, and then possibility of being on Breakfast News.
Mate, obviously you need to keep an eye out for that. Get that in the Discord because our listeners are really going to want to see that interview.
They're going to want to see me talk absolute bollocks about prisons and video games and websites.
Yeah,
definitely.
Becoming quite a celebrity.
I hope not. I just want to sit at my desk and everyone ignore me while I just fuck about and write stuff in code, which I try and do. Not very well. Talking about code, I've started learning C#, buddy, and using it with Unity, the awesome engine that is Unity as we know it. You know,
our hearts sing every time we see that logo flash up at the start of a video game, buddy.
I'll tell you what now, I feel like it's the best thing ever, obviously. Now that, now that I'm learning to use it, yeah. So my plan is to make the ultimate VR trick shot game. Long term, obviously. Short term, just make a few blocks, you know, move them about the screen a bit to start off with.
Baby steps, buddy. Absolutely baby steps.
Obviously.
No, that sounds like a fucking great idea for a game.
What? Yeah. The VR trick shots, mate. That's the one.
I mean,
We're on it.
We've already done VR trick shots in several other VR games, proving that there is definitely a market for a VR trick shot game.
Exactly.
You can't deny it.
You can't
try.
I've been there. I've seen it. I've seen the future.
He's seen it. The future is VR trick shots.
Nothing better, mate.
Confirmed.
Yeah. So there you go, buddy. Not a lot this week for me. Bit of football, bit of celebritying, and a bit of learning. So the trifecta in one way, shape, or form. How's your week been, buddy? Good, bad, other? Tick the box.
My week was nothing.
So other, got you?
Nothing during the week, last week or this. The weekend, however, buddy.
Hello.
Was an extravaganza.
He's gone for
it. I decided, you know, me and the missus, we've been working really hard. Like this year, we haven't really, you know, we had my trip for my birthday to Bristol, but we've got no like holiday books between like January and June. We're fucking hardcore missioning it.
Love it.
I was like, you know, we need to go away. We need to do something a bit.
You need to fuck off for a bit.
We needed to fuck off. And so I sort of made a drunken decision on Thursday night that I would just book a weird weekend of things. And then
like you do.
On Friday, the missus went to her cousin's for dinner. I thought, now's my chance. I just booked a load of shit, buddy. And we went away. So here's a little rundown.
Break it down.
On Saturday morning, we were up bright and early, around 10. And we went to Drusilla's Zoo Park, buddy.
Yes.
We went to the zoo. We went to see the animals there. Had a lovely time. We went there, of course, to see the red pandas. They weren't there.
Cunts.
They're off fucking at the moment.
Is it bang time?
Apparently so, which was annoying. Although the next enclosure was the fennec fox, buddy, and there were several fennec foxes. I don't know if you've seen these in the flesh. They're pretty cool. They're like very, very cool. They look kind of like manga drawn foxes. They've got big ears. They just run about the place. They're fucking nuts. I thought they were great. Huge fan. Fennec fox, right up there.
I like
it. Made my morning that. So yeah, a bit of Drusilla's. And then it was like, okay, well, I've booked us into this random fucking hotel. in the middle of nowhere in a village called Alfriston.
I thought you were going to go for Auschwitz then, but yeah, okay. Cool.
Auschwitz booked us into Auschwitz. Welcome to the weekend. No, we went to Seaford. We went in a board game shop where a man who was really excited about board games talked to us about board games.
Cool.
For longer than was comfortable.
Nice.
Although he made some good recommendations, and we've picked up the game Pandemic, which apparently is a very good board game. I'm looking forward to playing that, buddy. It's like a sort of, it's like The Division, but it's a board game.
Fucking hell, sign me up. I love The Division.
Exactly.
Do the numbers go up?
It's a board game, but it's a co-op game, so you work as like a team. I think that could be really fun. And,
if I could, I would play that. Can we do it?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
It can happen. Well, maybe when that little tabletop VR simulator thing comes out, buddy, it could be one of the games that we could pick up on there.
Fuck yeah.
Innit?
I'll do that. Can we do it in VR?
I would hope so.
Fucking hell.
Either way, then we went to the only Martello Tower in the south, buddy.
Right.
Made by presumably Jonathan Martello.
Mr. Martello himself,
Mr. David Martello. Anyway, so it's this museum in Seaford, and it was $2.50 per person to get in, and it looked to us like it was a room, and then you went up some steps onto the roof, and it was a tower, but it wasn't much higher than like if you stood on the roof of your car. And we thought, this doesn't necessarily look worthwhile, but we decided to go for it anyway, buddy. So we paid the £5.
Oh, suspense sounds.
Because she said, once you're done upstairs, you can go down in the basement.
Oh.
I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, like nothing to write home about whatsoever. Nothing up on the roof. And we were like, well, I suppose we'll have a little look in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You're there.
We're there anyway.
Yeah.
It's an old tower.
You can go in the basement if you want.
More of a pillbox.
You've been invited. Yeah.
The basement was like a miniature village, buddy. There were shops, like underground shops. There was a large model railway. And several rooms absolutely full of technology from
technology.
Like 1880 to 1990. They had the very first like radios and shit in there. They had the very first television. They had a room that was just like quite a big room, and it had like 300 televisions in it, starting from the very first one ever made all the way around to like a Sony Plasma. It was very strange, but really cool. Like really cool.
Yeah.
And then they had a games room, buddy, consoles from the very first like machines in like 1970, like all the way through like the Commodore, the Amiga era, like all the way through to I think the Mega Drive was like the newest thing they had there. But
it still is.
It was so cool. They had like old fridges and shit, but like from like 1810. They were just like a safe.
Someone was a bit of a hoarder.
I don't know.
They cleaned it up a bit.
There was no explanation as to why these items were in
and
this
the lady
basement.
was just like, you can go in the basement if you want.
She didn't tell us what was down there. She said it's a bit of a TARDIS. That's what she said. It's a bit of a TARDIS.
Bit of a retardis. Yeah, okay.
It's a bit of a TARDIS.
Yeah.
There was all sorts down there. It was incredible. There was a whole shop mocked up with a mannequin, and in the mannequin they'd put like a Walkman that was on a loop. And it was just so you could just hear the woman going, "Oh, so you've got the soap, and you've got the paper, and you've got the bread, and that'll be 2 and 6pence." And it just went round and round.
Oh, yeah, get it, old timey person in old time.
And then you could pull a cord, and it brought a little, almost like a flying fox sort of zipline contraption, buddy.
Who designed this?
I don't know. It was like apparently it was like a money winch. So they kept the money out the back because it was like dangerous and shit. And then like you'd give them your money and they'd attach it to the little thing, and then they'd pull the handle and it'd go into the back room, and then some dude would be out there and he'd send the change back. So that's what was going on there.
Yes.
They had a camera, a Sony digital camera, with a floppy drive.
Obviously.
I've never seen that. I didn't know it was ever a thing. I've never seen anything like that. They had my original Discman in there, and you start feeling pretty fucking old, buddy, when they got some of your kit in this museum. My first mobile phone, the Philips Savvy, pride of place in the middle of the phone room.
Nice.
But yeah, no explanation for why this happened. And then on your way out, there's an exhibit about a man from a local garage who the bailiffs were sent round because he hadn't paid like a 20 quid tax bill that in previous years he'd arranged to pay monthly. And so he knocked a portion of his wall down and wrote a check on his wall. Right. And had them take it away, and and it was a legally binding check because it had all the information on there, and he'd signed it. So the government had to take it to the bank, and that's in the museum. The last exhibit is this dude's fucking wall. That's a check. And then it's like, cheers, thanks very much. It's the best £2.50 I've ever spent in my life.
It fucking sounds amazing. And
if you're ever in Seaford, and I'm sure we've got thousands of listeners from Seaford.
When are you not in Seaford?
Head down there. Yeah. There you are. So that was nice. I went back to the village, buddy, checked into the hotel, had a nice dinner that night. And then on Sunday, we went to see Captain Marvel, which I was pleasantly surprised by, despite its hefty feminist undertones.
Wow, yeah, there is that.
I don't need to prove anything to you, that sort of thing, because she's a very powerful woman.
Yeah, but always end up doing so.
I mean, certain parts of that movie where she's, like just destroying a fleet of spaceships with her fists, you start thinking they might have made her a bit too powerful. But I'm just going to leave that, and we'll see how we get on with the second Avengers film.
Could happen.
Then we went to Battle,
third
buddy.
Avengers film. Go on.
I don't know. There's been so many.
There's a cracking mini pipe, mini ramp. There you go. In Battle, I've been on the 4 or 5 bus down to Battle many times. It takes quite a while. I'm not gonna lie.
It's quite a long way.
It is. It's a long way on a bus. Yeah. Anyway, you went to Battle, yeah. Just
went to Battle. I had a steak in a steakhouse there.
There you go.
And then we went to Bexhill-on-Sea.
I've stayed there.
Yeah. And they've got the old Delaware Pavilion down there, buddy, which is quite a nice venue on the seafront. They got a little pop-up record shop in there, and Lucy Rose was releasing her new album in the record shop there and playing a little set. And all you had to do was buy it online, and then you could pick it up when you're down there and got the concert for free. So that's how we rounded off the weekend, buddy, with a bit of Lucy Rose. Got her to sign my vinyl.
Mate. Nice.
And for a drunken hour on a Friday evening, I think that you'll agree that was pretty reasonable.
You've done well there, sir.
You've
seen animals, you've seen films, you've seen music, you've seen TARDIS.
I've seen a television from 1893.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the most action-packed weekend you've ever had on this podcast, I would say.
I think it might be. I really just pushed the boat out, buddy.
You were just like, let's just fucking do it.
It was a fucking delight. It really was.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one thing that I need to ask you, buddy.
Feel your boots, go ahead.
That's what are you drinking this evening?
I'm drinking the Coors Light, buddy, and I can tell you right now, the mountain is blue.
Nice. I like it.
How about yourself? What are you drinking?
Yeah, I can't say this because the words don't make sense, but it's the Wicked Wyvern, Wyvern. Wyvern. There you go, Wyvern. Like those words shouldn't go together.
The Wicked Wyvern.
Wicked, and I like it because it's got a badger on it and a dragon.
They are.
If you're members of the Discord, you would have seen the picture of the badger and the dragon, and also our friend of the podcast, JJ, or Ben, a great benefactor of the podcast, JJ, and his selection of beers that he put in there, which I'm trying to find now what they were called, and I really enjoyed them. One sec, here we go. We've got, what was it called? No, that's my picture. No, that's my one. The Raggedy Ass.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Solid.
What else did he have? He had the Arrogant Bastard Ale. I mean, they're just good names for beers.
That's gold.
And
this is gold.
My favourite one, the Red Cock.
There you go.
There you go. Some fantastic names for beers. And
very nice.
It only makes them taste better having a funny name. Known fact.
It certainly does. Yeah. It makes you sort of smug and pleased with yourself, and then it tastes nice, and you're like, fucking double trouble. There we are.
Indeed, buddy.
Yeah,
well,
beautiful.
I guess if you've got nothing else to say, then I guess we move on.
Yes, absolutely, buddy. The topic this week for the show is, of course, video games, although, again, you'd have no idea that it wasn't perhaps coastal villages of Kent or
True.
Perhaps Real Ales of America, or the Notts County Fan Club. It could have been any of those, but no, it's video games, and we've been playing some, and now we're going to go and talk about them. So, buddy, we're very much in the situation right now where you are playing games that people would like to hear about.
Okay.
And then I am playing some games as well. So do you want to kick things off, buddy? With a little bit on modern releases that sort of warrant a podcast.
Sure thing, buddy. I'll talk about games that have come out recently, aka the past month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The Division 2. It's a game that came out a couple of weeks ago. I've chucked about 30 hours into that motherfucker. Now, I've finished the main mission campaigns that you can finish until you get to level 30. So this is like the main story. Spoilers. It doesn't end there, obviously. The final... total spoilers are here if you haven't got to the end. The final cutscene is absolute balls. I love it. It's like, we're America. We're one America. And we're gonna do it like America. Kind of thing. And that's the president there for you. Coming through, saying, we're going to do it together and fuck everyone else, really. I love it. All right, fucking, that's what it should be.
There you go.
I don't really know. I spoke about it so much last week. I haven't really got much more to discuss so far about it. Like I said, gone through the main story. Really enjoyed myself going through there. I think I said last time I've gone through parts of it solo, as a duo, as a 3 and 4. The scaling does work. It has come to light that the scaling isn't perfect due to like your different types of armor. So your standard rare, ultra rare, high end, or whatever. Your different color systems: green, blue, purple, yellow, or whatever. So the issue with that is, say like I'm a level 29 and you're level 2. We join up. You'll get bumped up to like level 28, 29, or whatever. But because you'll probably be all in green armor, it'll only go to the max stats of the green armor. Whereas obviously I'm in like super duper purple gold stuff. Mine stuff's like way above you. So even though you can still deal really decent damage, you can get shot pretty quickly and die pretty quickly. Which we have found out. But
if you had a cache of different armor options and you could scale back your armor to green, then it would be even. Is that right?
I believe so. I'm not like they are looking into this and trying to find like a nice, like
a happy medium to it.
Yeah, kind of thing. I think because
I just wonder, like, I mean, is it that whatever you're wearing, that's what the enemies scale to?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's quite clever in itself.
Yeah, in its way, it kind of is. Like, it's still definitely doable. Like, we've had situations where, like, one of our friends is on, like, World Tier 4, which is, like, fucking 6 days worth of gameplay. And our other mate's on, like, level 10, which is, like, 10 hours in or something. And yeah, the guy that's put like 6 days in, like he can clean up like no problem. But the guy that's like level 10, he can still like get kills like with like, you know, a headshot and a body shot with like a sniper, which is like what this game kind of is in those kind of sense. Like we all know that it's like bullet spongy enemies and things like that. It's just that you're, you know, when you get shot, it does a fair whack of damage, so you've got to play it cautiously, but in no way, shape, near, far form, or whatever the saying is there that I tried to say, is it anything like the original Division, where you can't do damage, and if you get shot, you're dead. So there are issues there, but they aren't as bad as the original one. Actually, they're nowhere fucking near the original one, let's put it that way.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, I'm going to carry on playing this. I'm still really, really enjoying it. Like, there's a million different side missions to do. There's all different control points. Like JG said, like the map is like a fucking Christmas tree at the moment still. So I've got a lot of stuff to go through. Still fucking loads of content. I must have played this for about 30, 35 hours now. And there's still loads more stuff to do. The side missions feel as, you know... poignant or whatever as the main missions. They are a big challenge, and they're not just little, all right, go over there, pick up this, go over there, pick up that, and then go and see that guy over there and hand it to him. It's not like the fetch quest things. They are fully made up, like proper missions in a way, which is very cool. Yeah, so the next step for me is to get to level 30, which then I can unlock the things called strongholds. So I think there's 3 strongholds, which is like the next storyline in the game, and they're meant to be pretty tough. So we'll see what that's like when I get there, buddies. I think.
Gibbons B. Interesting.
Yeah. So update on that in the future. I'll keep you updated with the Division 2. Other games that I have played, and not for very long, for reasons I will tell you why, and that is Trials Rising. Is that the one? Yeah, Trials Rising.
Okay. This is the new Trials game?
This is the latest Trials game. And I've been playing that on the Switch. And you would think, how the hell did they get that game running on the Switch?
I would presume that it runs like a pile of shit.
And you would be right, my friend. That game runs like a pile of shite.
Yeah.
It's not great. And yeah, I put a few... I think I've played it for about an hour and a half or so. Firstly, it's not great on the Switch because the triggers on the Switch aren't analog. They're just press buttons. Is that they're not like, you know, squidging like a trigger.
So they're just like on and off.
It's
kind
on
of
off.
Thing.
Yeah, which isn't good for Trials. You need to feather the throttle quite a lot, to be honest. A lot of the time. So, first of all, that annoyed me. Obviously, early stages, it doesn't really matter about that. But when you get into like the extreme tracks and stuff like that, that's when you really need to be feathering that. Secondly, this game has gone so far from the original game that I love that I don't think that I can play it anymore. And by that I mean just the style of the game and the presentation of the game. Like, the original one was so nice and simple. It was like, here's a menu with different tracks. You click on that, you play that track, job done. But now with... and it's not all down to this, because obviously they've implemented loot boxes and season passes into this shit now. Obviously, yeah, that distracts from the actual gameplay enough and is completely pointless, but, you know, they have to be in there this day and age. But just the whole premise of it, you know, it's like a storyline. It's not even a storyline. It's like, oh, will you become the next Trials champion as soon as you go in? And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to play fucking Trials. Stop making this bullshit about crap and let me play the game that I just want to play.
Yeah, it's just all games have to be the fucking same now. All of them have to have all of the same mechanics.
And yeah, it's been fucking Ubisoft, buddy.
Yeah,
it's all like,
total
I'm surprised there's not.
Trials, absolutely.
I'm surprised there's not fucking towers in there that I have to climb. Even though there is, well, there's always been a hill climb challenge in Trials.
Yeah.
But, you know, it comes down to that. It's all just fucking too much, and it annoys the shit out of me. I mean, we're all one for having a good moan about stuff, and, like, this is a big thing for us now, and I think games just need to be pulled up for it more, because it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be there. Well, not for me anyway. I'm guessing for kids it does, because they love fucking shiny things.
Well, it's as I said, we've been saying for a couple of years now.
Yeah, we're too old for
They're
this.
not for us. These games aren't
they're
for
not
us
for
anymore.
us.
And so you just got to try and extract some joy where you can, basically.
Yeah, and, you know, extract the joy I will. Like, at the end of the day, it's Trials. I love Trials. I will play it. It makes me feel like I need to pick this up on, like, PC or PlayStation just for that fucking trigger issue. Because
I suppose the Switch, you got the Pro controller option, haven't you? If you
but why would you buy that? I mean, and also, why is there a thing called a Pro controller for a Switch? I'm sorry, that's just dumb.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. Yeah.
But hey, anyway, that's Trials Rising, I guess. I don't think I'll say much more about that in the future, apart from I played it, and it's still Trials, really. At the end of the day, it's Trials. It's really good. I love Trials gameplay. It's very satisfying, just like you enjoy Celeste and repeatedly beating yourself up over it and everything. It's the same with me for this game. Mate, I can sit there for ages and just continue.
I've been playing Trials HD this week. So
yeah, you do, because that's a fucking great game.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it is, buddy.
Given. So yeah, no, I still love that sort of conveyor belt of joy as you fall off.
Yeah.
Have another crack at it, try and do a little bit better. It's addictive. Great game. Yeah.
So there you go, buddy. That's 2 recent games that I've been playing this week. What about you, buddy? What have you been playing?
Only the newest of the new for me, buddy. Of course, as you know, like I'm hugely keen on all AAA titles at the moment.
You're like Mr. I mean, if you're a superhero, you'd be like Captain AAA or Mr. AAA. I don't know. Probably Captain.
One of those, certainly. Yeah. I mean,
AAA man. That just sounds like you're like a small battery.
Yeah.
In the form of a man.
What can I say?
AAA man.
I just love repetitive gameplay, generic
loves it.
Storytelling.
Yep. Keep going. Love that.
I love like shitty sort of loot mechanics and
sign me up.
I love it. I love all of that so much. So this week, buddy, I've been playing What Remains of Edith Finch.
Okay.
Late Shift and Hydro Thunder.
I mean, they are all AAA games that have been released this month.
Extremely modern. Yeah, I mean, I'm downloading other stuff as well. There's a lot to get through on the old Game Pass, but
he's trying to fuck his internet as hard as he can.
I love it. I just keep downloading. They just keep adding more games to game. It's the best thing in the whole world, and I love. Yeah, I just take my little shit heap out, stretch its legs, and so this. Yeah. So anyway, Hydro Thunder. Did you have this on the 360?
I don't know. Is it like a racing game?
It's a wave racing game.
Yeah, it's like a wave. Yeah.
Yeah,
the name definitely rings a bell.
Powerboats, it is.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
It's really cartoony. I quite like it. It looks shit. It's got a really funny announcer who's just like, it loads up the main menu and
oh, no, I had it on the N64 back in the day.
The dude just goes,
there you go.
Oh, Hydro Thunder, and I'm like, yeah, it fucking is. You're right. He can read as well, and it's
he knows.
It's quite addictive. He fucking knows.
He knows.
Quite addictive. You got boost, and but it tells you when it's ready for something like verbally.
Boost.
It's like, boost now ready. Just, it's think it's a first gen 360 game. Either way,
It's an N64 PlayStation game.
I don't know. I like it. I've been playing it. Yeah.
Do you want? Let me just find out when the original Hydro Thunder came out.
I mean, I had something similar on the Dreamcast. I definitely did. I think this was a 360 game specifically, wasn't it?
Launched on the Dreamcast in 1999.
There you go.
And on the PlayStation
PS1.
N64, 2000. There you go.
So this is like a sort of Xbox 360 remake of a PlayStation game from the 90s, which I'm now playing in 2019. So yeah, Hydro Thunder buddies. It's a brilliant addition. I've also downloaded Split Second. I haven't played that yet, but I'm looking forward to doing so. I'm going to see if that works with my steering wheel, because Hydro Thunder does work with my steering wheel, courtesy of Drive Hub. So
yes,
yeah,
that's nice. I like it. What
can be better?
I don't know. Than
using a T150.
Nearly a 20-year-old game.
It really is a party at my place all the time, buddy. And speaking
Non-stop.
of which,
I
decided to take it into a different direction, buddy. I thought I'd play a bit of Late Shift. I don't know if you're familiar with Late Shift. Do you know what that is?
Is that the FMV thing?
It is a video. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this was probably slightly more impressive, although perhaps not at all impressive, before the recent Netflix release of Black Mirror. Is it Bandersnatch?
Yeah, Bandersnatch. Yeah.
Bando. Well, this is just that. This is a high production video, but essentially it's a Hardy Boys book. You're a dude. And you are sporadically...
She's a dude. Yeah, got it. You're a dude. She's a dude.
You're presented with choices. Do you go left or do you go right? Do you steal the car or do you leave it? Do you try and overpower the gent or do you... Yeah, and then you just pick one, and that's the whole game. Now, for that game to work, buddy, I think you'd agree.
Yeah.
The production values have to be second to none, because you really are only one step away from watching television. So it kind of
you are watching television.
You are essentially watching television.
I can
so
see
it
that.
lives and dies by its story, performance, and budget. Credit where it's due. I think that they've done a pretty reasonable job here in that department.
They've done an incredibly average job here.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Some of the acting's a little bit dodge. Most of it's all right. Like, it's not too bad. The story is relatively compelling, and there's some pretty sort of, I don't know, sort of 15 to 18 certificate moments. There's a torture.
All of these descriptive words that you're using, like relatively and stuff, I mean, they're not saying that it's very good to me.
It's for what it's trying to do. It semi-succeeds, buddy, and it semi-succeeds. It's almost enjoyable. It's nearly a good game. It's
oh my god!
Yeah, it's not very good. It's not that. It's not that good. I quite
Go
like
on,
it.
Please.
I quite like it.
He quite likes it.
I quite like it.
Quite likes it.
I played at least 3/4 of it before I turned it off bored shitless. So, for that, I mean, yeah,
that alone,
it definitely like
that alone is something.
I like it. I like what they're trying to do. I don't think that they really succeed, but that's mainly because
they don't.
Because they don't. Yeah, it's all right. If you're in any way interested in Late Shift, I would recommend that you just watch it on YouTube because you don't really need to play it.
Okay, I'll do that.
And apparently there's like 9 different endings. I haven't seen any of them. But I might see one.
Like, best review ever.
I like it.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
Absolutely fantastic. Loved it.
I like
Mate. Well
the
played.
game.
Yeah.
It's not really a
bit.
game though.
Yeah.
It's not very good at whatever it is.
Yeah, no, obviously.
It's all right. So let's talk
Yeah.
about
Please.
my highlight of the week, buddy, which is What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, go on then. Let me know. What does remain?
I'm not quite sure yet, buddy. It's early days, but
Couple of fingers.
This is a this is a walking simulator, and it runs like absolute shit. It's horrifying how
that's what you want.
The performance of this game on the Xbox One S, that's S for sugar, cunts, is an unbelievable mess of a mangled game engine creaking at every turn.
Nice. Now, do you reckon that would run better on the Xbox One X?
The X for xylophone.
Yeah,
I think it would run better. I also don't think I'd give a fuck because it's a walking simulator, and the performance is in no way hurting my enjoyment of the game.
Not even at 4K like the Xbox One X can do.
It's upscaling to 4K. It's stuttering all over the place. That's fine. It basically is running like Firewatch did when it first came out on the PS4.
That wasn't great.
Not great.
That's a shame. But this game's quite old. I believe.
So
it's definitely over a month
fix
old.
it, buddy. Definitely.
They'll fix it one day.
No, this is never going to be fixed. They obviously don't give a fuck. Or they couldn't get it to run properly. I don't know. Anyway, it's really good. I really like it. I'm kind of hooked. I don't know, buddy. The things that used to matter to me do not matter to me anymore. I think that's clear. So, yeah, this is a game you are playing as a young girl. Some sort of calamity has occurred where...
Not a young man, sorry.
Her brother was killed somehow,
young man?
And her family abandoned their family home. And years later, she's gone back to the house. Someone sent her a key in the post, and she returns to her family house. It's this massive, weird mansion, and it's got like that sort of Hello Neighbor-esque kind of towers coming off it and all sorts, like really weird kind of sort of faux fantasy world here. The script is excellent. She's narrating as you're kind of going around the rooms, and the subtitles appear on different objects that you're looking at in a really sort of pleasing kind of way. The aesthetic here is wonderful. It's got like a sort of cartoony thing going on mixed with a bit of Gone Home, I would say. It's compelling. The house is beautifully laid out, like the sort of detail in the thing, and you can't even interact with most of it, but it doesn't matter. It's just enjoyable to kind of waltz your way through. There's sort of hidden passages, and you find various objects that take you back into it seems to me like the story is such that each member of the family had like their own bedroom, and they had that like for their whole lives, and when they died, that room was like sealed up, and as a kid you were never allowed in any of these rooms. You could just like look through the peepholes, and it's kind of like you going back through your family history. But you can become your various like ancestors as children via the stories in their diaries and that sort of thing. And there's proper mechanics here where like your, I suppose, great grandmother's diary, where she had a dream where she could become like various different animals, like a cat and an owl and stuff. And you literally jump out the window, first person catting about in a tree, and then turn into like an owl and you're soaring over the house. Really clever stuff, like way above most like walking sims. It's a fantastic little game. I really like it. I'm just loving it. I'm completely like stuck into the story, and the performance issues, whilst incredibly annoying, Probably a lot to do with the fact that my expectations are so low for this console that it doesn't really matter. Like I don't mind. I didn't pay for the game, and I know.
Mate, if you don't care about frame rates or quality and stuff, then you should get yourself a Switch as well. They're really good.
Yeah. I can't believe how badly this game runs for something that's been out for ages on this console. It's probably the best example I can think of a game that hasn't, desperately needed optimization and didn't get it. I'm not sure exactly when it was launched in relation to the Xbox One X, but if the X came before Edith Finch, then I have to say Microsoft have fucked Xbox One S players here, because what we were always concerned about with different tiers of console was that some games wouldn't run properly on the lowest tier, and that is very, very much the case here. It's not really spoiling my enjoyment of it, but I can't help but mention it. It's not really good enough, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, this game was fucking wonderful. It's been added to Game Pass this week. I highly recommend anyone with an Xbox fire it up and give it a go. It is a walking sim story game with shit all mechanics, but if you like that sort of thing, if you like a bit of Firewatch, if you like a bit of a story, then yeah, there's a reason why this won like BAFTAs and stuff. It's a lovely game and it's cool and I like it.
Nice, buddy. That's good news.
Yeah, so there we are. That's my weird list, buddy. And next week I'll be back with other
different
old games. But yeah, unless you have anything else, buddy, I think we should probably move on.
Cool.
And now it's time for the news.
Yeah! Fucking news.
Slim pickings this week, buddy. Slim pickings.
There's not a lot going on, buddy, I must say.
I thought there would be. I mean, Eurogamer tends to be my go-to to just sort of scan through all the articles, and I sort of look and see how many pages of news there's been since I was last on there, and it was like 4 pages this week. But I scanned through all the stories, and there's just fuck all there. So anyway, this is what we have. Firstly, I don't know. I think you may have mentioned this last week, but either way, I thought I'd say it anyway. Remedy's new game Control has a firm release date, and that release date is the 27th of August. This is Remedy, the creators of the original Max Payne games, Alan Wake, really stylish studio with some interesting ideas. Quantum Break is their most recent game, which was a 7 out of 10 game with incredibly interesting mechanics.
Yeah.
They spent, put it this way, if they hadn't spent the money on the TV show accompaniment and spent that on the game instead, I think that it would have been a hit, like a real hit. As such, Lance Reddick couldn't quite carry that thing on his own, and it became a bit sort of mediocre in the end. But the mechanics were really interesting. A lot of those are being carried over into Control, and it really does look like a bit of a blockbuster. So pretty excited for that, buddy. I think you are as well.
I think so. It looks very interesting, I would say.
It does.
It could be awesome because the puzzle mechanics of that kind of style of game alongside of just shooting dudes sounds good to me. Yeah,
absolutely. Like time bending stuff and telekinetic stuff. They celebrated the release date with a new trailer. It's up on all over the place. If you pop onto YouTube, you can see it, and you'll probably see why we're quite excited about it, because it looks cool. So there we are. Number 2, buddy. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition appears to be coming to the PS4 and Xbox One for some reason. This is there was an ESRB rating for it appeared online this week. So yeah, it looks like a remastered original Borderlands coming to PS4 and Xbox One. A bit weird, I'd say.
Sure, give a fuck.
Gearbox in it, so that's why it's coming out again. It was a cool game. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. Like, why not just bring out Borderlands 3?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I'd imagine that'll be announced proper at E3, but
more than likely.
But yeah, either way, the original's coming out again, so There you go. Meanwhile, in other news, buddy, it was rumored earlier in the week that Apple was working on some sort of Netflix-esque subscription service for video games on the App Store. They then kind of, I don't know if it was the leak that prompted it or if they were about to anyway, but they made an announcement. The service is called Apple Arcade. It will launch in the autumn for iOS and Mac, and it will be an Xbox Game Pass style service for the App Store. They've announced some launch titles for the service. Some of them more interesting than others.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, probably the most interesting one is Beyond a Steel Sky, which is a sequel to the beloved sci-fi point-and-click adventure Beneath a Steel Sky, which was a great, great game, but a long, long time ago. This game is coming out not just on the App Store, but on all consoles as well. It's been announced for Xbox, PS4, and Switch. So we've always had a soft spot for modern takes on old school point and click adventures, and bring it into a sort of a sci-fi atmosphere as well. And I think this might be something we're pretty interested in having a go of when it comes along. I think that's fair to say. You've got a bit of a soft spot for old point and clickers, haven't you, buddy, in the past?
I do love a good point and clicker because it's like a puzzle, and I like puzzles, my friend.
Gibbons, and also it's just nice to have a bit of a sort of, probably one of the reasons I'm enjoying Edith Finch. Sometimes it's just nice to have a more relaxing game experience. Bit of
something else to go on. Yeah, like I said about like my VR experiences and things, I like them to be nice and just chilled. Just like, ooh, I'm all around floating about, or I'm just like, oh, I've got to solve this puzzle, or, shit like that, really. It's nice.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, that's the sort of, a lot of those games are the sorts of games that will be hot probably on the Apple Arcade. Other announcements, a game called Little Orpheus from the Chinese Room, Sayonara Wild Hearts from Simogo, Hot Lava from Clay Entertainment, Spider Saws from Way Forward, and Giant Squid, the developer of Abzu, launching a game called The Pathless on the App Store service, and Sonic Racing looks to be coming to it as well, some sort of iOS Mac version of Sonic Racing. So some interesting stuff there if you are someone who regularly plays games on iOS devices, if you're like an iPad gamer or whatever. I don't really see how it appeals to Mac users necessarily, unless it's a really nominal fee and there's some like loads of interesting. I mean, all those games are interesting, but I can't imagine that there's going to be, I think they're starting with 100 titles. Quite how many of those will be compelling, bearing in mind if I go on the App Store right now, I would struggle to find 5 things that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they're up against here in terms of how it's going to go. But
then again, I don't think this is aimed at us, buddy.
No, it isn't. And also, it's no coincidence that this has come as Game Pass is gathering traction and as Google launch their, intend to launch their service as well. It's definitely the way things are going is the subscription service, and then I think we can all predict that will eventually move to a streaming subscription.
Yeah, it'll go there, won't it?
And then there'll be no hardware anymore. That's the way that we're going.
I think I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it plays well.
I don't need to have a powerful box of hardware under my television.
No.
If my television could just play it, I would prefer that. Provided it works, that's fine.
And with that, then, you can just fucking play it on any screen you want as well, which is handy for me because I play upstairs, I play downstairs. I like to play in the bedroom when I can't be asked to get out of bed and stuff, Yeah.
It
sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's all good. And, you're still going to have the same battles being fought in terms of the different platforms. You're still going to have incentive from each to have exclusives and so on, and therefore sort of drive gaming forward.
I think that's where a lot of the trouble is going to be, is, having like 3, 4, 5 different subscriptions on the go to get all the games, which is going to be a ball ache.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll have to see kind of how that goes. But I think you'd need to do some sums really as to like how much you spend currently on hardware and video
and
games
software, at the same
versus
time.
like 5 years subscribing to 5 services or something like that.
Totally.
There's definitely calculations that could be made there once we know a little bit more. But yeah, I'm paying £8 a month for Game Pass. I'm not paying for Xbox Gold at the moment because I haven't got anyone to play with. Yeah. So I seem to be getting I'm getting my value out of it at this moment in time.
Totally.
As you say, if I was subbing to a selection of other services as well.
Yeah, you had that, and then you had Xbox Live, and then you had EA Access on top of that, or whatever it is. EA.
It's a pretty penny.
It's EA Access or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah. Access is
and then
$5.99.
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on what kind of games I guess you're going to be wanting playing and stuff like that, and what's on each service.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, a lot of these services you can just buy for a month. Like EA Access, I can just buy for a £1 for a month.
Yeah, which is good.
The idea that you could just be like, oh, next month we're going to play some EA games on game night.
And then we'll just spunk it for a month and be like, yeah, sweet, that's that done.
Yeah, now we're off to play, Microsoft's offerings for the following month for $3.99 or whatever.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound quite good. Yeah. Pretty cool. So we'll watch that with interest, and certainly Apple probably the least interesting of for gamers at least, just because I don't really rate the App Store very much. And the same would go for Android, to be honest. But it's just Google are kind of more proper PC game focused, I think, with their service, which is probably why it's a bit more interesting to gamers. But yeah, either way, that seems to be the way things are going. And if you've got any thoughts on that, buddies, then give us a shout. Give us a chat in the Discord, or send us something into Street Beat on the website, www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, and we'll get you in Street Beat.
Nice plug, buddy.
Gibbons, buddy, no problems, no worries. Moving forwards, I've just got a couple of extra little bits. Firstly, this is something that we probably wouldn't be that interested in if we didn't have VR, but we do.
Yeah, we do.
No Man's Sky is getting another massive update. The last one was called Next, and I played it with Funk a couple of times, and it wasn't that compelling, really. It was still the same game. And it turned out actually being able to do that co-op wasn't actually that compelling at all. Because we were able to, play Minecraft 10 years ago. So it's, I don't know. There's just something that was a bit nothing about it. However, the latest update is getting a dedicated multiplayer mode featuring game types and challenges and all sorts. So that sounds interesting. Actual server-based gaming with multiple people could be quite fun.
Team deathmatch, yeah.
I don't know, maybe space battles and so on, and then full VR support throughout the whole game in all modes, even online.
That's mental.
PSVR, full support for No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it is.
Co-op as well. We can play co-op No Man's Sky in our VR headsets together. And that sounds very appealing. So, it's pretty exciting in my view.
It's baffling. Obviously, this is fucking awesome news if you have this game and a VR headset, which both of us do. It's incredible. This game is so vast and full of nothingness, and to experience that firsthand with your eyes, I think that's going to be pretty awesome. Seeing some of these mental creatures and shit that's knocking about, that'd be weird. But then, like you say, they're going to have dedicated multiplayer modes, and there's no information about what these are, but that just means more fun with your buddies, I guess. I would say.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's crazy the amount of support that this is getting so long after it came out. Either way, I don't know whether I don't know how fun it will be, how interesting it will be, but I know that I'm very excited to give it a go. And
Yeah, definitely.
and that's coming this summer on
On a PlayStation near you.
Xbox and PC,
There you go.
PSVR, and I think that the Vive and Oculus are supported as well on PC. So
Oh, nice.
it's a clean sweep for the old VR headsets as well.
Nice.
Speaking of VR, buddy, Blood and Truth it's finally got a release date, May the 28th, and that's from London Studios. It's the follow-up to the VR Worlds demo of The Heist. It's their full Cockney robber shooter sort of thingy. I've been very, very much looking forward to this ever since the PSVR was released, like, let alone when I got it. I can't wait to play through this. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. So that's cool. And rounding off VR Town, a wank Iron Man game is coming to PSVR.
Yeah, and this is all from that PlayStation had like a small live event. Was it State of Play or State of
that was on Monday, and then Xbox did one on Tuesday. They're all kind of getting in on the Nintendo Direct sort of format, I suppose, building
look
towards
at these little things.
Not being at E3. Obviously, Microsoft aren't going to be there still. But
obviously, but
I bet they don't, like, in 2020. You know, it's it's hard to tell at this point, but
it's one of those things where they can be like, "Yeah, we're doing it because we're better." You know, it's a way to stick it to other people, isn't it? That no, we still do it because we love the fans, or any fucking excuse, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's it's one of those where it's a bit weird, but I'd like them to have little sort of monthly videos where they announce new shit. I think that'd be cool. I'd be up for that.
Gibbons.
Finally, from me, Gwent is coming to smartphones. So yeah, Android, iOS. Should have been on there in the first place, and I'm glad. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, baffling.
Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering are both on there. Digital card games, absolute perfect fodder for portable devices. So
Gibbons.
Yeah, I think that it should do pretty well on there. I just have to say I was tremendously disappointed with the standalone version of Gwent, because I just felt that they bolted too many bells and whistles to what was a brilliantly crafted game in The Witcher 3, and there's just too much going on. It ruined it for me. But hey, it's a free-to-play game, and you need lots of avenues for revenue.
Income,
so
yeah. True.
Ruined it for me, though, buddy. And with that, I think I'll hand over to you. That was my news. So I think it's pretty time to hand over to you, buddy, for my favourite section. I'm sure the listeners as well. And that, of course, is Ash's News favourite things of the week.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, fucking Sony heavy this week. Probably because I'm a massive Sony fanboy, as everyone knows.
Yeah, there's nothing in terms of like balanced views on this program. There's
heaven forbid that. No.
We just go on about how powerful and brilliant the PlayStation is, and how terrible the Xbox is.
Just in case you don't understand sarcasm, that was it.
They are.
There you go. Firstly, buddy, though, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is free this week because the Elder Scrolls is celebrating its 25th anniversary. There you go. So, 25 years of Elder Scrolls. They've been kicking about for a while. Not as long as me, though, so obviously, fuck you.
Seems reasonable, buddy. Yeah.
Now, the rest of this stuff is, like I said, it's Sony. Sony is selling lots of PlayStation VR headsets. How many million do you reckon now?
I think last announcement it was like 2, so I don't know, 3?
4.2 million worldwide. Fucking getting VR to the masses right now, buddy. I think they're doing a mighty fine job. Hats off to them. Well played.
Fucking sweet as the punch, man. Like, that's really good. That's a really strong
Yeah,
figure.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Let's have a look at some of this shit. I've only got a few more. Sony are going to stop selling PlayStation 4 download codes through retailers. So you know how you can go to a game or wherever the fuck you go to buy stuff these days that's not on the internet, actual shops. Well, actually, you could buy these off the internet as well, couldn't you? Yeah, those things. You can't buy them from shops or retailers anymore. So they're restricting it. So I don't think that's a good idea because well, for consumers anyway, it's bad because
They're just tightening up, aren't they? So you can't buy from anyone but them.
Exactly, which is fine. But Sony renews patent that hints at digital game trading for PlayStation users.
Okay.
So they've this was a thing a long time ago. I think it was like in the console race of whatever year it was, the great console race of 2014, when Microsoft and Sony were butting heads about being the world's best and greatest and talking about sports. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
And TV. Yeah.
TV, sports. And I don't know what Sony were doing. I wasn't really paying attention because I was laughing at Microsoft so much for being retarded. Anyway, yeah, that was a thing back in the day where it was like, yeah, you can trade games and sell them back to the store and things like that. It was, a patent has been re-released and it hints at this being a thing. Which would be cool because I've got like 300 games sitting there that I don't play anymore and would trade them in to get money to spend on new games.
I just don't
Or
see
a subscription
why
service.
they wouldn't do this, really.
I don't know.
Because, you know, you're going to be happy to get like a shite amount for this, like 10% value or something.
Of course
but
you are.
it's going to make everyone happy because it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
And it's going to drive revenue to their storefront because...
Yeah, because you're going to have money in your credit and then you'll be like, oh, let me just spend that. Oh, sweet, I've got like 10% off that already.
It seems like a great idea.
No. There you go.
That's what I think.
Well, there you go, buddy. And that is my news favourite things for this week. Not a lot.
Well, thanks so much, buddy.
Kind of interesting.
It was some interesting stuff there. It was very tasty biscuits. And that was your news before that was my news. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
And that is out this week, buddy. What have we got?
I'm actually losing my voice a little bit for the second week in a row.
We're doing a podcast.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal, is it?
No.
I'll get there. It's all good.
We'll wrap it up soon. Don't worry.
Firstly, buddy, of course, it's that time of the month.
Time of the month.
No, I'm not blobbing, buddy. It's Games for Gold and PS Plus.
Games for Gold.
Yeah. So on Games for Gold, we've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original, for the Xbox original.
Nice, like it.
Much better game than the new one.
The new one, yeah.
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 is on Games for Gold.
Right.
So I'll play that.
Yeah, you will.
Technomancer is on Games for Gold. And most excitingly of all, buddy, Outcast Second Contact is on Games for Gold.
I'll play that.
This is the full remaster of the game Outcast, which was famous for its voxel technology, and is something that I've wanted for a little while, and may well renew my gold subscription so that I can play it.
Just for this, yeah.
Yeah. So, there's Games for Gold. Moving to PlayStation Plus, we've got 2 games, because, of course, they're no longer giving any PS3
Vita
or Vita.
Yeah.
Conan Exiles is probably the big one, I suppose. It is an open world online survival game a la sort of Rust or something like that, but in barbarian times. And I suspect will actually be very popular on the PlayStation because there aren't quite so many of that sort of game on the consoles as you find ubiquitously on Steam. So
I mean, the thing you can kind of compare it to is Ark, really.
Yeah, very much so. very much a sort of an Ark-esque sort of game. As such, maybe something that we might want to give a little burn. But
Maybe. Do you reckon it will run better than Ark? Because that was beautiful.
I don't. I don't think it'll run better than Ark. I think it'll run on a par with Ark, aka Shithouse.
Shithouse.
But we'll see. And then the other game on PlayStation is The Surge, which is that sort of half bio, half mechanical gentleman who wakes up.
Bionic Commando.
Experiments done on him, and
oh no,
it's very. I think it was kind of modeled on the sort of Dark Souls vibe of combat, and as such, I didn't really get on with it very well. But it's quite a cool game, I guess.
It's a great 7 out of 10 game.
Yeah, perhaps. And between the two, I mean, it's a real weird mixture on Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. It's baffling. And Games for Gold this month is just weird.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, you got Outcast Second Contact, which is cool, especially for us that played the original and everything. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're going to struggle to get any kind of decent 360 game now. You know.
Well, I can't help but think that the focus has shifted entirely towards Game Pass.
Yeah, everything should just
the
be
goal
on that,
is
really.
a bit of an afterthought, maybe. I mean,
yeah, but they have to do it, really, don't they? It's there.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Recon, it's a fantastic game, but it's really old, like 06 or something.
Yeah,
and
of course it is.
You can
I
pick
mean,
that up for
all
50p
of these games
anywhere.
are going to be old and terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to find any fucking inspiring 360 games. I don't know. Like, personally, I think they should give away like some of the best like arcade games, like Age of Booty and shit like that, or I don't know. Instead of like Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, who's going to play that? I mean, really.
Yeah, I can't really see it. And you know, even Technomancer, which is like a sort of 2016 game, but it's a fucking 5 out of 10 game. Like it got completely fucking caned.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's just a big old letdown this month for fucking Games for Gold and PS Plus, mate. It's just sad.
Not very interesting for most people, I wouldn't have thought. We will move on to what you've labelled absolute wank, and I'm inclined to agree, and that is the release listing for this week. We've got Darksiders War Master Edition on Switch. That's
it is.
Darksiders, which is much, much better than their new Darksiders game. It's still a remaster, and it's coming to Switch. I don't know how they've managed to get it to run on that system. How have they
managed to get that running on the Switch?
We've got Deathmark coming to PC. It's not about a person called Mark who becomes the Grim Reaper, as I was hoping. But
okay,
it is
Deathmark,
a cartoony RPG that looks quite interesting. So, yeah, that could be good on PC, if you like that sort of thing. Mixture of RPG elements and point and click. We've got Islanders on PC, which is a charming little village builder. Kind of has a bit of a Populous vibe to it. A little bit less intricate, but that looks quite fun, quite addictive. First time game from a new dev, their very first outing, so it could be worth a little look. We've got Mechtermination Force on Switch, which is a run and gun platformer, proper old school. Scorcery on PS4, which looks frankly utter shite. I don't know what else to say about it. It just looks really, really bad. It's some sort of puzzle game. It looks a little bit like it's kind of designed on fucking old school MySpace with HTML code flashing purple or something. Not sure. Which the same could be said for the last game on our list, but we'll get there. Overwhelm arrives on Switch, and it definitely won't because it's an 8-bit platformer. But it might be fun. What do I know? You know, I like platformers. But that's on Switch. Mars Rising with a Z.
Not with a Z.
It's a tower defense game, and who doesn't want a tower defense game? And finally, buddy, another Switch game, Monster Slayers, and I I'm unable to describe Monster Slayers. I can't tell you very much about it. I watched. I'm going to say extended footage of this video game without at any point being able to work out what on earth was going on, what the point of it was, why anything was happening. So I can't help you out with that one, buddies. But if you want to fire up YouTube and have a little goosey yourselves, then be my guest.
Sure.
So that's out this week, buddy.
Yeah. Great.
We'll move swiftly on, shall we?
No, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's move on to a continuing conversation taking place on the podcast.
I know. I've been trying to keep up with this, but it's just ongoing. It started off saying pretty much, no, nothing, and then suddenly it's erupted into this mess. So, are we going to put this down as fuckwit corner?
I suppose this can be fuckwit corner. I'm starting to get the impression that a friend of the podcast, Funk, and friend of the podcast, PJ, may well have been having a bit of a drink together today, and this appears to be the result. So I think, it's fuckwit corner, and let me I suppose I'll just read this verbatim for better or worse, having not proofed it first. So if this is incredibly racist, we're live on the internet. And it's not my fault, I promise you. Here we go.
These are not our thoughts.
No, views not our own. Funk says, I've been playing Hitman, the old one, all week, and had a ball just setting up sniper kills on Colorado.
Nice.
Loved it. Looking for angles, patiently waiting to cap someone. Much more fun than playing it like the game wants me to.
Nice.
That game is underrated. Spent an hour after getting made just blasting my way around the level and having a... Also, me and Pizzle hit up Modern Warfare and had a gay old time.
Classic.
There you go. PJ says, lots of announcements of various game streaming services. Has anyone made it work to a decent level, or are they pissing in the wind trying to capture fanboys?
Should we answer that? I guess that's something. That's a question.
It works on PlayStation, but the service isn't compelling enough in terms of the software and the price point.
And that's also available on PC now, though, isn't it? So technically, you can play PS4 games on your PC if you want. But still, it's still a bag of wank. But from what we experienced of it, and this was a good year and a half ago that we played it.
The tech's there. It works fine.
It's there. Yeah, we didn't have any issues, really. And I mean, I kind of reviewed Destiny 2 using NVIDIA's streaming service a while ago, probably 6 months to a year ago or something, and I struggled to find the latency in that game.
Agreed. I had the same experience with GeForce Now.
There you go. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
These things are there, I think. Oh, go on, buddy.
They work fine. I played a host of games. I didn't have any lag at all, and my connection's nothing to write home about. I get 40, 50 meg a lot of the time.
Was that on Wi-Fi or were you hardwired?
That was Wi-Fi on my Mac.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know.
So the service is there. It's still not as perfect as playing locally, but you can bet your ass. I mean, Game Pass is the best subscription service currently available on any platform. I think that's fair to say, not just because I'm in love with it.
True.
It's the most established and best value, I think, in terms of the software library at this moment in time. They will inevitably, at some point, start offering the ability to stream the games rather than download them, and then eventually that will all go streaming. That's the way everything is going to go. And I've got no problem. As we've said before, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. Provided it works, then I'm happy with it. It's
cool.
Yeah.
Gibbons. Also, we fucking owned Wild Pants. That's where you are, buddy.
After 6 months away, that was awesome. But would have been better if we could have played the game mode we wanted.
Oh, what?
Yeah, nothing more annoying than finding a couple of hours to play a game and an hour of it being forced into game modes you didn't want. Fucking clown shoes. Great game when it lets you play it through. I've long since had a huge issue with Ghost Recon Wildlands in that you play that mode that we like playing, the sort of 4v4, and you can't choose the type of fucking game mode you want to play. And the
No,
only
it's a
one you wanna
playlist,
play,
buddy. It's a playlist.
yeah, I don't want a playlist. I want to pick what I want to do because
Makes
I bought
sense
the game.
to me. Yeah, but
Like,
the player base isn't there, and not everyone wants to play that. So
everyone
wait
wants to
times
play
will
one
be...
mode.
Yeah,
Everyone
does.
wants to play survival mode. No
Yeah.
cunt wants to play the other modes.
Attack and defend at
Yeah.
the villa. Ugh, he'd play that forever.
PJ kind of spitballing about the possibility of being able to sort of choose your own mode. No, you can't. You can only have just a private match. It's not great, but yeah, they don't like that. Still fun, and they go on about how brilliant that game is, and I'm not going to out again because we've been there. They love that game. Yeah,
We did it.
it does have horde mode now, as PJ brings to mind, which is something I'd like to try because I think that could be really fun. And as you know, buddy, I like playing co-op more than I like playing PvP in basically everything. So.
Gibbons, so I'm just trying to read the rest of these comments. It goes on forever. Oh dear.
Yeah, they love it. Best game on the console. I mean, to be honest, it sort of builds into a crescendo of absolute fucking rubbing one out. In the sort of way that you might get after you've had 5 to 6 real ales, that sort of. Either way, I think the moral of the story here, buddies, is
they fucking love Wild Pants.
They love Ghost Recon Wildlands. They think that it's the best game on the console, and they can't get enough of it. And Gibbons, more power to them, I say. That's fine.
Fight the power.
No? So thanks very much for whatever the fuck that was. Funk and PJ. Cheers. And now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We wanna know.
Get on the show.
Get on the show. And friend of the podcast, Bob's got on the show, buddy, as he posts in the desolate wasteland that is the JfG Podcast community on PlayStation.
That is a thing that is available if you're on PlayStation.
Yeah, and very active. Lots of current posts.
Always posting in there. Everyone, every day. At least several posts a day,
Bob posted a picture of a miniature F1 car.
Yeah, I saw. It was odd.
Followed by a grotesque explosion. He's been playing Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Nice.
And using some of the weird little custom cars in there. And I asked him about it, and he said that it was the toy F1 car. And this was about the point I realized it may be too fast. So, yeah. Possibly the case. Communities are in there. So thanks very much for that, Bob. And we end this week, buddy, with a sort of bittersweet moment. I
don't know if I'm happy or sad about this.
As highlighted by JJ, of course, highlights the fact that on the 2nd of April, which is next week, isn't it?
It's not far away.
Tuesday?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
Sure.
On Tuesday, the 2nd of April, Google Plus is shutting down. No one ever fucking used it, obviously, because it was pointless. Utterly pointless.
Yeah, it was terrible, really, wasn't it?
Something that was a very annoying system for you to change your YouTube picture and information. As such, Google are closing it down completely, and no longer will I be able to say we are also on Google Plus if that's how you choose to live your lives, because you can't choose, buddies, because it's going to be gone. And
it's dead.
JJ sent through in the old Discord chat, buddies. You can find the Discord information on our website. Come and join the fun.
Oh, the JfG podcast.co.uk. Yeah.
Sent a little rip in peace headstone, buddy, on a hillside. Sun sets with the Google Plus logo on the tombstone. And such a shame. It's
yeah.
Oh yeah. you know,
We're gonna have to edit that ending now. Fuck's sake.
I think in typical JFG fashion, that ending will probably stay there for a couple more years.
I reckon so. Fuck it.
We'll say that it's a tribute to Google Plus rather than
obviously
our laziness and negligence. That's probably best.
Yeah, live on Google Plus in the hearts and memories of the JFG community.
Rip in peace. F in the chat. Yeah.
Fuck in the chat. ASL in the chat. 34 male Nottingham.
He's got it. Yahoo Pool.
Is that me?
Habbo Hotel.
Oh, I remember those days.
So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 206 of the JFG podcast. And what a time we've had. I closed the door to the living room and turned the heating up full before we began because it was very cold in here.
And now...
It is not cold in here now, buddy.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
2 words. Sweaty gooch.
Sweaty gooch.
Have you had a nice time on this week's show, buddy?
It's been lovely. We've had people chatting on Mixer.
Oh, yeah.
On Twitch. I've been trying to keep up with it. I've done a terrible job. They've long gone. They're not watching anymore, so don't worry about it. I'm not.
Oh, well, fuck 'em, eh?
But yeah, just in case you want to, you can watch this podcast live and see my face and Alex sitting in the dark.
It looks like I'm in the dark.
Yeah. I'd say the backlighting is too light. But
it comes down to this, buddies.
Yeah.
I like sitting in a mood-lit room. It improves my mood and therefore performance. And I'm not willing to compensate. I'm not willing to compromise.
Who are you?
I just don't think you need to properly see me. And I'm not going to turn the light on so you can.
I don't want to. I don't want to see you.
So
I just want to look at me anyway.
You can see I'm there. You can see I'm moving about. And that's all you're getting.
There you go.
Yep.
He's about, and every now and again when he gets like a window up, like fucking a blank Google Chrome screen, it just goes white.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there he is.
There he is. He's definitely there. And then I'm gone again, like the wind. Boom. Yeah.
God, he's like a ninja.
Yeah, wrinkly or otherwise.
Absolutely. We'll never know. So yeah, you can watch this live on. There he is, fucking weirdo. You can watch it live on YouTube, Mixer, or Twitch because they're all working now. Which is nice. Yeah, I got it working, mate. Got it working.
You did it.
I did that. Well done, mate.
Well done.
Thanks.
No, we're lovely. What are we going to do now? Should we just go and like peruse the store for
Get
a while?
on the store, mate. Yeah, there's no sales this week. No new ones anyway. So
fucking hell.
Sorry, I ain't got any money, mate. I'm fucking well skint, which is shit.
That can happen. That
will happen. That will happen. Yeah. Anyway, let's fuck off.
Yeah, we're done here. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Of course we will. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell.